came across this weird guy who likes shadowing, and I didn't realize how respected he is. Like, you meet people from all over the country, and he's not well known, but if you know, you know, that kind of thing.
Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Accolades conversation series, in which I talk to some of my favorite artists about who or what they would recommend me checking out. Make sure to subscribe to our channel or hit the like button. The Cool Greenhouse, formed in rural Norfolk and fronted by spoken word artist Tom Greenhouse, delivers the type of post-punk lyrical realism that South London absolutely lusts after, effortlessly gliding through poignant observations and politics, the mundanity of living, and pop culture gone wrong. I spoke to Tom about Ben Wallers, also known as The Rebel. He is the frontman, guitarist, vocalist, and songwriter for the band Country Teasers. His lyrics often deal with taboo subjects such as racism, sexism, and xenophobia from first-person standpoints. If you're into my illustrations, please check out my illustration book Accolades, which you can still get on greatrecords.be. This is what Tom had to add.
So for my accolade, I chose Ben Wallers of the Country Teasers, who's also known as The Rebel. And here's just an obvious choice for me because he's just a complete hero of mine in lots of ways. Quite recent though, like not from a child, although he was making music in the 90s. So the Country Teasers were like late 90s, early 2000s in Scotland and England a bit. And then, but his more recent solo stuff is when I started getting into him. So maybe about 10 years ago. But ever since I discovered him, I actually discovered him through this this other band that I really like called The Shadow Ring, and he did like a spoof song of The Shadow Ring called The Shadow Ring by The Rebel. It's on YouTube, I think. And yeah, I was looking for more Shadow Ring material. It's quite hard to get hold of, and there's not much on YouTube. And then I came across this weird guy who likes The Shadow Ring, and I didn't realize how respected he is. Like, you meet people from all over the country, and he's not well known, but if you know, you know, that kind of thing. Like, if you know him, you really love him. No one ever goes, oh yeah, I know Ben. They either go, I don't know, or they go, yeah, I love Ben. So, but yeah, and he plays a lot in London now, which is really good. So I've probably seen him maybe more than any other artist because yeah, he plays these solo shows quite often. I think I mentioned in the book, when I first went to see him, there were all these couples like snogging in the front and all these like quite young kids, maybe like teenagers, like yelling all the lyrics. And I was like, this is so strange. I thought this guy was unknown. And he kind of is unknown, but I don't know. Yeah, as I say, people who really like him really like him. So yeah, and it's more interesting to choose someone like that who has kind of done it in the way that I would like to do it, I guess, rather than just someone who's very well known. They're from Scotland, but they emulate a weird kind of American country music, which is a weird idea, right? I don't know why they decided to do that. I think I read somewhere in an interview he found that if he just chose a really specific strange genre to work with, that it was much easier for him to produce music or something like that. But yeah, but it doesn't sound like any country music you've ever heard, that's for sure. But he does put on a bit of an American accent sometimes, and he also spoofs or parodies like, I guess, racism and other Southern American themes in the music, which is sometimes controversial for people. But yeah, it's very lo-fi in a way, or very kind of dirty Scottish American country is the first thing. And then with his Rebel, it's much more English, I guess. But he uses more like electronic drums, but very lo-fi again. He uses like a Game Boy drum machine sometimes when he plays live, things like that. So, and
he plays completely solo. It's just.
Yeah, nowadays mostly. Sometimes he has a drummer, but yeah. And you know, he used to wear like a big cowboy hat and stuff like that when he'd play. So it's this weird mixture that he's concocted. And yeah, he's very lyrical, like my band, and quite strange in his lyrics, and obviously like interested in literature and stuff like that. So there's a lot to like get into from the lyrics as well.
What would be like the song that people need to check out first of him to like get into whatever he does?
That's an interesting question. There's like their most loved song is called Golden Apples, but that one's not very country-ish. That one's just kind of straight up. Yeah, probably their first record. There's one called Anytime Cowboy. I would recommend that. That's very lo-fi, punk country, like weird. Yeah, weird. But my favorite, there's one called Spider-Man in the Flesh, which I like a lot. There's another one called Life is a Rehearsal. This is solo stuff. But he's been doing it for 30 years and he's very prolific. So there's lots to get into. I probably haven't even, because a lot of it's not available. You know, sometimes he's just handing out cassettes after his shows that will never go online, and he only made like 5 of them or whatever. So there's lots of the music I haven't even heard.
I want to thank Tom for this conversation. On next week's episode, I'm talking to Jay Rawls about DJ O-Sharp. Thanks for listening, watching, or however you check out Accolades. Give us a thumbs up or follow our channel. See you next week.